Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
I am Tyre Salam. Many thanks for joining us again. All right, this is what the show looks like. Very exciting,
Yep.
indeed. All right, let's start with the Nigerian Professional Football League. We have new leaders again. This time around is Nasarawa United. They've gone to the top of the Nigerian Professional Football League after match day 16.
Yeah, courtesy of that 3-0
Thumping.
victory.
Thumping win over Dakada.
Dakada.
Wow.
They're there. And of course, when you have Kwara United, they'll be in action this weekend against MFM. Yeah, right here in Lagos. We'll see if they can. No, Kwara United are actually home to Adamawa. So we'll see if they can, get back to the top. All right. Also on the program, I didn't see this coming. Spurs refused to read the script.
Nope.
That's been happening. Any team that had the upper hand all through the European competitions this season, we've seen that they progressed to the next round. But Spurs, they refused to see that because Dinamo Zagreb actually had one player who believed, Mislav Orsic, he scored a hat-trick and sent Spurs out of Europe.
Literally sent Spurs and Harry Kane on their knees. They're out of Europe. A stunning 3-0 win to overturn the 2-0 deficit. Nothing short of embarrassing for Tottenham Hotspur. Spursy. That's why they call them that. Also on the show this time around, let's go to the NBA. Big matchup involving one of the best teams in the NBA, the best team with the best record. Utah Jazz taking on one of the whipping boys in the Eastern Conference and in the NBA by extension, the Washington Wizards. And at the end of 4 quarters was Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal prevailing in that encounter.
How do you face a team that has been beating you for 9 consecutive times?
So
they decided to arrest this time around. So the Wizards, where they want to overpass the Jazz.
Yes.
So the Jazz, whatever they had just wasn't enough. Donovan Mitchell, he
Not
came
enough
short.
Jazz.
All right.
Not enough Jazz.
At all. But you have enough Wizards, right?
All right, so that's it. It's a loaded show.
It is a loaded show.
Basketball, tennis, Dubai, NPFL, Europa League preview. I mean, there's a lot to talk about today. And let's just straight into it.
Straight into it, right? We also got Big Fish that will be joining us in the house. We're talking about former Super Eagles coach Sunday Olise. And, of course, former Super Eagles captain. I mean, it's a whole lot. I mean,
it's a legend.
We'll be catching up with him. What's he up to this time around? Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. He's been quiet for a long time. I mean, I follow him on Twitter and I read most of his tweets and all that, analysis, punditry and everything. He's into all that. But then what is he doing right now regards to, trying to bring up other young stars that are also aspiring to become as great as he is right now. So Sunday Olise will be joining us on the program. We'll catch up with him. Okay, he's ready to join us. Good morning, Coach, Captain. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. How have you been? It's been a while. What are you up to?
Oh, a bit of everything and nothing, thanks to COVID-19.
Great.
We're happy to be alive anyway, so let's take it like that.
Which is really important, right?
Exactly.
Health, safety is number one. Now, what are you up to these days? I mean, we haven't heard from you for a while.
Well, I must be honest, since the COVID struck, I've really decided to take a low key and try to enjoy what I find the most precious in my life, which have been my kids and my lovely wife. So
awesome.
I've really, I think the COVID just sent me on a reset button. Like, look, we are living life too. Let's enjoy every minute. So something like that.
Let's take it slow. I think I can relate to what you're saying, Captain. But for you personally, are you looking to get back into coaching very soon? And do you have any other thing going on that you'd like our viewers to know about?
I'm just releasing my autobiography, which is scheduled to be released in 3 weeks, I think, on the 15th of April. It's entitled The Audacity to Refuse. It kind of covers the 16 years of my playing career, covers everything you want to know about the golden generation of the Super Eagles. The struggles we had to go through, the challenges we had to go through, in fact, all the hidden things that people didn't know in a positive way. without being vindictive, just trying to like get a history to our countrymen so that we can now know what is the difference. The book itself is this. There was a time, anybody we came against as a country, Nigeria, they had sleepless nights. They had sleepless nights. They didn't know what the Super Eagles was going to bring at them. But now we are living a time now whereby anybody we come against the nation, we are the ones who have sleepless nights because we are worried, like we saw even when we played Sierra Leone. So, but I think the major problem we have back home is that even any well-meaning Nigeria doesn't know where to start from to get Nigeria's football back on track.
Right.
And it's because they are totally not aware of what we did or how we did it, right. At least to use that as a foundation to build on and get things done. And this is what this book does. It gives out everything to
all right.
to us.
Okay, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this autobiography, and they can be very tricky as well to you. You'd agree with me, Captain. And I just want to know how revealing it's going to be. How intimate are you really going to go all out and reveal a lot of these things that you just talked about?
Well, it's going to be intimate because for the first time, I think some people call me a recluse in the sense that I cherish my privacy a lot. And obviously, when I look at what's happening in the world today, I thank to God that I do that. You're going to look at, I'm going to share my childhood. You're going to see my childhood, how I grew up. You're going to see how I was blessed to, and you're going to even see the failures, the mistakes that I made,
right?
That I regret but learned from. And you're also going to see some decisions that we took that today, when you look back, you say, thank God I took those decisions. Thank God we stood by this, It's a mixture, and you get to see also the hardship we suffered to make Nigeria what thanks to God, we made it to be. And you also have to see, you get to see all the intimacies, how we gelled as a group, how we quarreled as a group, how we disagreed. And also, I share for the first time the painful discrimination I had to go through also as a kid, like most Nigerian stars went through also, but probably they've not had the opportunity to share. The aim of the book is to share. I want my countrymen, and unfortunately the whole world will get to see it too, to see that, look, this is what we have to do to get back on track.
Okay, before we leave talking about this book now, I mean, on some of the topics you've talked about what you face, as a footballer, we're talking about racism, corruption, and if these are some of the issues, can you just share more light on some of those things before we get to read the book in April?
Well, what I can tell you is that when I watched the video of Meghan and Harry,
okay,
I watched it. I became emotional because those were the kind of things that I went through. And the thing that we get through is that, you see, as a colored man, is that when you encounter discrimination, the abuser tries to make the one that's been abused feel as if you are the one that something is wrong with. It is you who's wrong. It's you who's different. It's you that your color of the skin is not bright enough. It's those kind of things are things a lot of soccer players have gone through, and it's the things that Nigerians are still going through now at the moment. I share with you in the book. You see also how personally I had to go through with it, and you also see how we rebelled against it, and we were able to hold it up to a level that made us to be able to succeed. Otherwise, we would have failed. So,
all right, then. It's very interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing that book come out. Let's go on and talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria now. I mean, of course, there's no way you're going to come on the show and you're not going to talk about Nigeria's senior men's national team. He used to coach and he used to captain the side. So after 20 years, they're back in Lagos on March the 30th. They'll be taking on Lesotho in an AFCON qualifier. Tell us what's different about playing in Lagos compared to other locations for Nigeria.
Let's just say men play in Lagos and boys play outside of Lagos. Because if you look at Lagos, Lagos fans are demanding, and rightfully so. In our time, I remember there were games that were leading 2-0, and they started to boo us and support the opponent.
Wow.
Why? Because they wanted more goals. They felt we were not dominant enough. So you have to be at your best to play there. And if you don't have, forgive my words, I know there are ladies there. If you don't have balls, you can't play at the national stadium.
Wow.
It's like that. But there is an advantage to it. The advantage to it is that you always bring your A game when you come to play for Nigeria. And you know that you have to play well. And it's not a luxury playing for Nigeria. It has to be a honor to wear the green, white, green.
Absolutely.
That is what my generation had. And that is what the generation after 2002 did not have anymore. Some of those things you will see in the book. The thing that is, there's a difference when you come to play for Super Eagles, you have to serve the country. You have to serve, you have to give something. And we were fortunate to have that mentality, but our family is now benefiting from it because when you hear the name Amokachi, it brings respect. Yeah. When you hear the name of Eshi, it brings respect. Well, if I'm modest enough, if you hear the name of Olise, it brings respect. Now, I am not benefiting from it only. My brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, they are all benefiting from it. That you cannot buy with money. And those are the things that I feel that serving Nigeria is not something to discuss. That's why when I coached Super Eagles, the first thing I told them was, if you're not playing in the first division in anywhere in the world, forget Super Eagles. Because the best has to play here. And some felt, oh no, then that means it's bad business for us. Our players cannot play in Super Eagles. Yeah, but Super Eagles is not a business avenue. It's a national duty, you know. But when you look at it like that, some will say, oh no, you're controversial, you're too hard-headed. No, this is how the Europeans do it. That is why they succeed. And our people deserve better. And all these things you will see in the book. You will see how it is explained out in the book, how we did it with dates, time, so that nobody can say it's fabricated. No. There are dates, there are times we play the games, players who were on the bench, those who started, those who did this, those who did that, and how the players were united to bring Nigeria success.
So interesting. I mean, when you went back as far as saying that we've not really had the kind of team we had as far back as 2002, that's a long time ago. Now, you're saying the crop of players we have right now are really not good enough. And if they're not good enough, how can the coach actually get more good players? Because I think right now we literally have the best in Europe, despite the fact that you have some playing in second division.
No, I'm not saying, don't get me wrong.
Okay.
Thank you for asking the question because it's very important. I'm not saying the Nigerian players are not good enough. No. Okay. I'm just saying that the atmosphere that they are working under does not bring out the best from them. And I'm also saying that the demands that we have, the qualifications you have to have to play for the Super Eagles, the bar has been reduced. We as a nation now are now happy with mediocrity. We celebrate even third place in Africa. No, when you are Nigeria, you are the best. You don't celebrate even second. That was why when we lost the 2000 Nations Cup in Nigeria, I just couldn't take it. In fact, for the first time, I lost emotional control. I wept. Because in front of our people, we have to give them the cup. You know, this is how I see it. It's not that the atmosphere is not there. The current Super Eagles, they have good players. But if you look at the time when Nigeria was dominant, I used to play against Taribo in his club side. You get to play against JJ Okocha in his club side because he was in the top team, I was in the top team. When you put on the television Champions League on Tuesday, I will watch my countryman playing on Tuesday. I am playing on Wednesday. This was what you had at Super Eagles. You will see Daniel, doing good in UK. You see big stars like Babayaro doing great at Chelsea. Now, if you look at it that way, we don't have a lot of players playing at the top at the moment. In fact, the most solid player we have now is Ndidi. And, because he has got it all as a player. We need more like that. To get that into Nigerian football, we have to start back and get that league back in order. Otherwise, forget it.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Because we still have load soon and there's
Okay,
still
all right,
Skype
Coach.
interview.
Okay, before we let you go, finally, we'll be facing Lesotho and, of course, Benin Republic. That's our last two games before qualifying for the Nations Cup. And we know that usually we're qualifying with a game to spare, which we're celebrating, which, of course, it's not really like that's how Nigeria should be. But we are celebrating it because usually qualify with a game to spare. We have Lesotho and we have Benin Republic. And, of course, Paulo Nacho was just called into the team to replace, someone who cannot be around. What do you make of all these, and how can they approach this game to just qualify without we having, another headache, especially with what happened against Sierra Leone in Benin City?
Well, you are as good as your preparations. We have to prepare well. If you don't prepare to win, you're going to lose. And that is one thing that has to be done also. But at the same time also, this is what I was talking about, us celebrating mediocrity. With all due respect, who is Lesotho, who is Benin? We have to. Those are not games we should look about in those days. Those were the kind of games that people like Kenya are counting to score 3 goals. So it's not something that we should be talking about. What we should look at it is this point of view, in the sense that the African football itself has taken a nudge, and at the same time also the format is now enlarged. At our time, we had only the 12 best African countries go into the African Nations Cup. So you imagine, out of 53 nations, 12 had to qualify. So every game was totally difficult from the onset on. But now it's enlarged, so that gives room for lesser solid teams, and also gives room for more countries to showcase themselves on the scene itself, good and also bad in a way. So as Nigeria, when you're looking at it from that point of view, you're not looking for success. Africa should not be where we should be vying for. The reason why I'm writing this book is now, this is 25 years since we won the last and the most prestigious title ever won by any African nation. That was the Olympics gold. We are celebrating this. It is the Silver Jubilee this year. Nobody's talking about it. This is the time we should be celebrating. We were so great that we dominated the world, not at kids level, but at adults level. And it's a title. So in that way, when you look at it from that point of view, this is the direction we should be looking at if we want to succeed. And I am hoping that by this book, it's 350 pages long because it covers 16 years of football and it's detailed. Hopefully, when you look at this book, then we can borrow from it and say, okay, this is how they did it then. Now let's do it maybe like this and even make it better. So that is how you should look at Super Eagles.
All right. Thank you so much, Sandolise, for talking to us this morning.
You're always welcome, my dear. Take care and God bless.
Cheers.
I'm here. All right. Okay.
All right. Quite.
Revealing. I can't wait,
I
actually.
can't wait to see what's in
that
that book.
To read it, especially the controversy, 94 and there's many.
Usually when you release autobiographies, you're going to hurt a lot of people.
Of course.
Because they're going to be saying things some people don't want out there. And that's why I asked him. And he said it's going to be as revealing as possible.
As possible.
So I'll be
I can't wait. Because he's a very, okay.
Yeah,
we need to go
a very
on a
colorful career. Let's put it
very
that way.
Very colorful. I love that word. We need to go on a break. When we come back, of course, we'll be talking about the NBA. We'll be talking tennis. And we still have the Europa League and MPFL on the menu.
Welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. Let's go straight to the NBA. Cecilia, loads of games played. Actually, not loads of games.
About five,
6 games played. And Cecilia is very excited. You get to know why shortly. But let's give you the results of all the games first of all, before we do a detailed analysis of them games. Starting with the Utah Jazz against the Washington Wizards. Okay, that's why Cecilia is excited. She's excited because the Wizards defeated the Utah Jazz 131 to 122, and her favorite players absolutely came to the party in that game. We'll come back to that in a moment. Let's go to the Thunder, and the Hawks ended 116-93 in favor of Atlanta. It was Trae Young and Bogdanovic scoring.
7 straight win. These guys are on fire.
They're on fire right now. 23 points apiece for Trae Young and Bogdanovic. Also winning is the New York Knicks, 94-93 over the Orlando Magic. Just the 1 point. Yeah, very painful. Julius Randle recording his third triple-double of the season with 18 points, 17 assists, and 10 rebounds. Elsewhere, the Suns were not hot enough for the Timberwolves. Ended 123-119 in favor of Minnesota. #1 draft pick Anthony Edwards scored a career high 42 points in that game. Also got... Sorry?
I said, watch that guy.
I mean, you got to watch out for him.
He's living up to it.
Absolutely.
Unforgettable franchise record.
Exactly. And he's actually, at 19 years old and 226 days old, is the third youngest player in NBA history to score 40 or more points in a game. He's totally living up to the billing, no doubt about it.
Remember Zach LaVine in 2015 had 37 at that time. So for a rookie, I mean, that's the record for him.
Right. All right, so take a bow wherever you are, young man. Let's go on to the Blazers and the Pelicans. Ended 101-93 in favor of Portland. Damian Lillard, of course, 36 points on the night, 21 coming in the first quarter. Can you imagine that?
Oh, that guy is a monster.
Absolute monster. Yes. Last but not the least, the Lakers and the Hornets ended 116-105 in favor of LA. LeBron James, 37 points on the night.
Something else.
I'm done talking
Rookie
about
of the year, LaMelo Ball.
Yeah,
26 points. I mean, I'm just trying to, at least he wasn't really awful.
All right, then. Let's talk about quickly Wizards and the Jazz. Surprisingly.
Surprisingly, yeah,
There's
it's
no two ways about it.
You know, I said earlier that when a team keeps beating you all the time, somehow you just want to bounce back and see how you can break that skid. Overall, 9 games, I mean, you have to break it somehow. And for Washington Wizards, we know they're on the losing run 5 in a row now. So they needed this, and that's why Bradley Beal stepped up for 3 points on the night. Russell Westbrook, yeah, that's the reason I'm excited. And of course, the first player in franchise history of Washington Wizards to have 35 points, 15 rebounds, and 13 assists. I mean, it's 13 triple-double of the season. But then all that wasn't a waste.
It wasn't a waste.
It could have been.
Exactly.
Donovan Mitchell, equaled the season high with 42 points for the Jazz. But then it's still the best team in the NBA.
Of
but
course.
Then it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, that's because Bradley Beal and Russell played out of your skin. Not only scoring, they guarded for 48 minutes.
8 minutes.
You know, so and this is what we envisioned when the trade was made. Oh, Russell is going to play. Imagine the backcourt, Russell and Bradley Beal, and they're going to blow teams away. Well, they had a very, very slow start, and they're still trying to recover. And if they can play like this on a nightly basis, there's no way they shouldn't make the playoffs.
They lost 2 game points to Sacramento Kings. That was harsh. And if you check their record this season, against the top 6 teams in the Western Conference, they've had a good result over them. So what happens to the other teams?
They just got to be more consistent. That's just what it is. Okay. Because, anyways, let's not talk too much. Let's listen to one of the star players on the night. I'm talking about, the captain, emotional leader of the team, Bradley Beal.
Praise my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Well, it was our defense. We guarded for 48 minutes. I think we did a good job of just disrupting them. That's the best team that came here in the league right now tonight, and we just did a good job of making them uncomfortable and making sure that we executed on the offensive end. You know, we were making sure everybody was involved, but it was definitely our defense that definitely won us a game. That's a no-brainer. He's easy to play with, you know, because he understands the game. He's very unselfish, and I feel like I'm the same way. So it's just a feeling out there. It's not like we tell each other what to do, or certain stuff we may see. We try to, we may teach or say, watch out for this, or look at me here, certain spots. But more or less, it's just reactionary. We just understand where each other will be on the floor, where we like the ball, and it's been great. It's been great to see and be a part of.
Things looking up for the Washington Wizards. Bradley Beal and Russell combining for 78 points. That's a lot.
That's almost all the points they needed. You can't score that and still lose the game.
Yeah, so we've seen it happen before. Though. Okay. So shout out to the other guys as well too that showed up and contributed their little quarter. All right,
I'm seeing something from MBBF now. I mean, something good one for basketball in Nigeria. You have it. Monte Morris committed his international future to Nigeria. Okay.
Interesting.
All right, interesting. Well, it's on that, and we're going to discuss this.
Yep.
Okay, we're still with basketball, right? But this time around, Nigeria, Special Olympics. What's happening, Tayo?
Yeah, but before then, let's just see the standout performers in the NBA.
Hurry.
Yeah, since I know you're excited to talk about this special athletes. But before then, let's take a look at the guys that stood out for their teams in the NBA games played last night and this morning. So we're starting with Donovan Mitchell. Cecilia mentioned earlier already. Okay, Russell Westbrook, first of all, then 35 points, 15 rebounds, and 13 assists. Also making a shot list is Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
What a player. 42, 4, and 6.
Yeah, that's all.
In a loss, though.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, these things happen. Let's go on to the next guy, King James, 37.
At 36.
Season 18, right? 37, 8, and 6 for the Lakers in their win as well. Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah,
so good to see this guy playing again. He's been through a lot. Personal and physical issues. And 41, 10, and 8. Take a brow wherever you are. Devin Booker, of course.
On the losing side.
35,
wasn't enough.
4, and 6 for the Suns.
All right,
so that's it for the NBA.
Okay.
Like Cecilia said, we're not leaving basketball just yet. We're coming home to talk about it. Cecilia, COVID-19.
Yeah. Decimated everything.
Everything, like no one was left out. Professional sports, especially. I imagine how these professional sports stars, how they've had to deal with this pandemic and having to be holed up somewhere, can't do what they love. The psychological effects of that. That's on professional athletes. Now imagine those special athletes. Athletes that require special needs and care, having to be holed up in their houses, can't go out and do what they normally do. I can imagine it's a horrible, horrible experience for a lot of those guys.
It is. I mean, it's a whole lot for them, and that's why we need to catch up with them this morning to tell us what they're doing to ensure that with these athletes are not just idle, they just have to keep them busy because a whole lot is going on across the world. They need somewhere where they can be busy. That's the reason we're catching up with them this morning. So Michael, we've joined us, right?
Yeah, Michael is ready to join us. Michael Ani is the coach of the unified basketball team for Special Olympics Nigeria, and is going to be telling us about what they've been up to keep these special athletes very busy and engaged so they can be psychologically and mentally all right. Good morning, Michael. It's great to have you on the show.
Well, thank you very much for having me on the show.
Yeah.
I really appreciate what you're doing. And thank you for believing in the spirit of inclusion.
Right.
We just want you to continue to speak more for our athletes. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. It's great to have you, Michael. I mean, the last time you were with the team was at the last Special Olympics. It's been a while now. Michael?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm with you.
Yeah, I was saying the last time you were with the team was at the last Special Olympics. It's been a long time.
Yes, it's been a long time. And the athletes, they are really, really down mentally. That's the reason why we have to organize this year basketball camp in order to help them to boost their immune system and also to increase their mental and physical health. You know, the COVID-19 restriction is affecting everybody, but it's really affecting people with disability more because of our society, you know. So it's important that we continue to keep to the rule of COVID-19, the restriction, and we continue to do what we need to do to make sure that these athletes are staying healthy. Because sports is very, very important for them to stay healthy, to boost their immune system, and also help them not to fall into depression or to have anxiety. So it's very, very important that we continue to create an environment where they'll be able to exercise their and bring out their emotion and also stay healthy.
Interesting. That's a very good one because, I mean, when we started the show, Tayo mentioned the fact that because of, the pandemic and all that, how will they be feeling psychologically and all that? But having something like this is definitely something that will help them. Now, are there more plans for things like this for them? Maybe a mini tournament outside having a clinic like this?
Yeah, we actually have 7 teams. We combine people with and without disability together on one team. And we try to show social inclusion to make sure that they play with their heroes, to make sure that they have opportunity to play with their mentors, and then to let them understand that the society is with them, the discrimination are getting very less. People begin to understand that people with disability are same people. They are the same like us. They begin to understand that their disability is not a disease. They begin to understand that we need to take them for who they are, because they are also human beings like us. So the coaches and the parents were very, 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 very excited. The athletes were so happy that we are able to bring them out after a long time of lockdown.
Oh, Cecilia, it's
exciting. Yeah, it's
exciting.
You
guys are doing a great job. I really appreciate it on behalf of these guys as well too, and Special Olympics Nigeria. Shout out to them as well, Naomi and her team. Keep up the good job, Michael. Many thanks for joining us on the show. Hopefully, whenever you're doing anything else about special athletes in Nigeria, you let us know, and we will love to be a part of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for inviting me, Tyler. Thank you.
All right. Cheers.
Stay blessed.
All right. There you go, Cecilia.
Love it.
I can imagine how excited those guys are. Being on the lockdown forever.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, their coach shows up from his base and says, okay, guys, it's time to work.
Come together. Let's
go.
just see what we can do. I love the fact that it's everyone, both, able and, of course, those ones with special needs and all that, putting everyone together. That's the message. We're all the same.
Exactly, inclusion. I like that strategy by Special Olympics as well to trying to make it more competitive. Okay, you have the guys that are not special, you have the guys that are special. Let's play together and make it a lot more fun, and that's what they have been
That's what
doing.
sports is all about.
All right,
fun.
Let's get on with the show now, Cecilia. Let's go to the NPFL.
Yeah, of course, NPFL, talking about match day 16, the other games that were concluded on Thursday, and of course, we'll also be having a preview of the games coming up this weekend. But start off with the games that were played yesterday. The reason why we are having Nasarawa United at the top of the table right now, displacing Kwara. Maybe just for the weekend, but you can't tell. Plateau United and Sunshine Stars were 3-1. How do you score 3 against Sunshine Stars, who they've not been winning games, but they were not losing goalless?
But then Plateau United
3-1,
we're talking about here.
That was heavy. Katsina United and Rangers. Rangers, how did you do this? Okay. Yeah, it was a loss. And Nasarawa, of course, they had to thump Dakada 3-0 to ensure that, yes,
so that was the result.
That was the result that put them right there. Goal difference, because if you check the goal difference, 6 and 5. So they needed more goals, and they had that. And, of course, they are topping Kwara United, who, of course, will be home this weekend. And we know that usually it's hard for them to lose at home. And then we'll see if they can go back to the top of the table. Let's talk about the game, of course, which is Plateau United and Sunshine Stars.
I don't know why you're surprised about that scoreline.
Because Plateau United, a high-scoring team, right?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, look how they've been beating teams in recent weeks. And you're talking about Sunshine Stars that have been a bit off color recently as well. This result, no surprise for me at all. Ochoechi gave Plateau United the lead. You can see the first goal there. And as soon as they got the goal as early as 7 minutes, I mean, it was always going to be tough for Sunshine Stars to come back in that game. And not a surprise for me that they just ran out with it at the end of the day. Ibrahim Mustafa as well. This guy, ever since he came back, has been almost unstoppable. He was on target as well to in this particular match.
And of course, you have Adeyemi trying to get one back for Sunshine, but then that was just too late. 90th minute, they didn't want to go home without at least being on the score sheet, so they got one back. But that was 90th minute, and of course, it was just a little too late for them to start to turn the result around, because Plateau already, as early as 46 minutes, I mean, first half, they've scored all the 3 goals, and second half, they needed to defend, and which they did. The game was over at first half.
Game was won and lost already.
Yeah,
let's take post-match reactions are coming from both coaches, Abdul Mike Kaba and Benga Ugumbota.
This Sunshine team, I don't think there is any team that scored 3 goals against them. We scored, and in 45 minutes, we were able to do that. So we only know the amount of energy we use to get that result. So it's difficult. We want to take our time. On Sunday, we have another game. You understand? So that is why we want to slow the tempo and use the right moments to get a result. But in the first half, we force to get it. But we don't need to do that. It's just like a waste of energy. And that is why we have to relax a little and play so that we get the right moment to attack. We get some moment we are not able to convert, that's all. And it's not compulsory you score all your chances. No, actually, you know, we have played midweek last week. We played weekend, and it's difficult. We need to rest some players, and Itodo has been under a long layoff since the corona period. He has been out of this team. We are bringing him back gradually. He played some 2 games back. We gave him 20 minutes. Now he was able to play 90 minutes. We were very, very happy about it.
I think there's no 2 ways about it. We lost the game to fatigue. You see, the team came in very late. And they went themselves in the first 45 minutes. We lost the game in the first 20, 30 minutes. You understand? And sometimes it's like that. I'm sure we must have learned our lesson that we don't do that. Sometimes you might be lucky, but not in all cases. This is a distance. You see, if you allow fatigue to set into your players, you might not recover. I thank God we're able to recover after the first 45 minutes. Otherwise, it would have been a disaster.
As Benga Ugumbota, you know, actually, you know, fatigue responsible for that woeful performance. And I mean, obviously, it's not a happy man with that.
Not happy man, but still kind of finding positive, saying after conceding 3 in the first half, they didn't give up. You know, they didn't just capitulate and conceded more goals in the second half. So, but a loss is a loss, and that's what happened to Sunshine Stars. We need to go on a break now. We'll come back with doing a review of the Europa League, and we'll let you know how Spurs did it again and they're out of the competition. Welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. Let's go straight away and tell you what's going to happen over the weekend in the Nigerian Professional Football League, match day 17. Some very interesting fixtures to look forward to. Ifeanyi Uba will be taking on Jigawa Golden Stars. There's also MFM versus Aqua United. Lobby Stars will trade tackles with Rivers United. Rivers still trying to get that away win since that monetary incentive was introduced in Port Harcourt. There's also Sunshine Stars. They'll be looking to bounce back in Akure against Enyimba. Dakada versus Plateau United. Rangers versus Nasarawa United. Top trip for Nasarawa United. Will they be able to remain on top after this game? We'll find out by Monday. Abia Warriors, the form team in the NPFL, they will be hosting Katsina United. They'll be very confident in getting all 3 points in that game. Kwara United has also been in action against Adamawa, Wiki Tourists versus Kano Pillars, and last but not the least, Heartland Warri Wolves. So there you go. NPFL match day 17. You can join us on the show on Monday for comprehensive review and analysis. Let's go on now to Europe.
Europe, of course.
Talk about the UEFA Europa League.
Round of 16, second leg.
Yeah.
Okay, quickly, we just confirmation of all the results of what happened last night before we talk about how Spurs bungled it. Not just looking at what other teams were doing. Starting with the game between Arsenal and Olympiacos. Yes, Aubameyang had hat-trick of misses in that game. But wasteful. Arsenal got through 3-2 on aggregate after winning first leg. That's what you do. Win your first leg. Have confidence going into the return leg, no matter what happens.
And look at us. Look at that. Look at that result.
Yeah, close. If they had scored a second, that could have been it.
But their North London neighbours,
of course,
weren't so lucky.
They weren't so lucky. I mean, when you have Mislav Ochi, who believed, he believed, because the guy who gave him the second goal, he believed. I mean, that was when it was 2-2. It went into extra time, and of course, he's got his third, which I believe is made for TV. We'll talk about that game quickly later. Let's just take a look at other results on the night. Molde and Granada, it was 2-1 on the night, but 3-2 Granada going through. Shakhtar Donetsk and Roma. I mean, AS Roma not smiling. They won the first leg 5-1, 4-0, but then they went on the second leg 2-1, 5-1 aggregate. United, I mean, this was going to be a tough one for Manchester United. They didn't have Cavani, he wasn't even on the bench.
But they had Pogba.
They had Pogba back, and of course, he sent them through with that 47th minute strike.
Just a few minutes after
just a
coming
few minutes
on.
after 3 minutes, after coming on. That's when he got that goal for them. And United had to defend with their life. Fred and McTominay for the first time, I mean, for the second time, I actually give them credit for how they were able to give them.
How can it be for the second time? Those guys have been good in the big games for Solskjaer. Because
Zlatan make a cameo, but then
he came on, tried, almost got a goal back.
Dean Henderson. He was present.
He made a good save, a smart save. For United, it's all about getting the job done. They're not playing anything fantastically at the moment, but they are getting the results, and that's what matters in football. Forget the United way and all of that talk. Other games, Villarreal also through. So we still get to see Samuel Chukwueze in the competition.
And also Peter Olainka too. The game against Rangers, he scored the first goal before they were able to get through in that one.
That's Slavia Prague, 2-0 over Rangers in Scotland. Of course, it wasn't a good night for Leon Balogun. Got sent off in that game.
And they finished with 9 players. Okay, let's quickly
talk about Tottenham.
Tottenham. What happened, Tayo?
What happened?
I'm asking you because I saw the lineup, Gareth Bale and the likes didn't start, but somehow the players we have on the field could have been able to at least get something out of the game, but they just couldn't.
Okay, so the lineup, first of all, tells you what the intent of the manager and everything.
Defend?
No, it wasn't to defend. I looked at the lineup, I saw Harry Kane. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Before we look at this, I mean, the teams that have qualified, can we just take a look at the pictures coming from that game, and then we'll take a look at teams that have qualified for the last 16.
Exactly. So we're going to let's talk about Spurs, Cecilia. So the midfield had Harry Winks and Sissoko. That's a mighty drop-off from the usual pairing of Hiobier and Ndombele. Right. The left back had Ben Davies, not regular. The right back had Sergio Rey. I mean, it was a decent enough side to preserve, even if you can't win it, preserve the 2-goal lead.
But how did they crumble in second half? Because first half ended goalless.
Goalless, exactly.
So
in 45 minutes, they couldn't keep a clean sheet, and
considered
three goals, including
went
one
into extra time. And we're thinking I think it just wasn't their day, because at the time they woke up, Harry Kane tried his best
to missed
get
a couple of
sittings and all that. But those guys were ready to defend with their life after going that 3 goals up.
Interesting. It's a terrible result for Tottenham. Jose Mourinho is going to have to take the blame for it because he put out our starting lineup, and he's not been able to galvanize his team to just get a goal or even just manage to prevent the other side from scoring 2 goals. But it is what it is for them. Very interesting to see where the team goes from now, because this was the most realistic chance of getting back into the UEFA Champions League, because in the league, they are somewhere off the top 4.
Of course. But they still have a chance to actually get into that top 4.
They do.
Okay,
but not with the way they're playing now.
And we've seen the teams that have qualified today. The draws will be made. Arsenal, we have Ajax, Dinamo Zagreb, Granada, Manchester United, Roma, Slavia Praha, and Villarreal. They are all the teams that have moved to the next round. Let's leave that and quickly talk about the FA Cup this weekend. FA Cup this weekend, you have Bournemouth and Southampton will be in action. You also have Everton and Manchester City, Chelsea and Sheffield, Leicester and Manchester United are the games for the FA Cup quarterfinals this weekend. Yes, confirmation of what I just talked about earlier. And for the English Premier League, we also have some games this weekend. Starting today, Fulham and Leeds United will be in action. Then on Saturday, you have Brighton and Newcastle. On Sunday, West Ham and Arsenal will also be in action. Arsenal, right. West Ham, that's going to be a tough one. And for Aston Villa and Tottenham, again, another tough game after crashing out of Europe.
They don't have a choice. They've got to bounce back and win that game. Cecilia, let's take a look.
Before we look at the papers just take some tweets, right?
All right, sure.
Okay, I'll start with HJ. HJ says we have 3 Nigerians in Europa League and 1 Nigerian in Champions League. I dare to say we have a very good crop now.
Yeah,
all we need for the Super Eagles is a better coach and better coaching. What are you saying?
I was going to go there.
Yeah, Noble Player Man says, we went to San Siro and dug a hole in the hearts of Milan. Ole does know how to grind out results on big nights. Yes, we've seen that. I feel like Jose Mourinho has lost the dressing room again. As usual, based on his post-match interview and that of Hugo Lloris, I see him getting fired soon. Okay, and Dr. Kenneth says it was a mixed bag of emotion watching Arsenal lose to Olympiacos and still qualify on goal aggregates while Spurs floundered away. Talking about Nigerian Professional Football League, using fatigue as an excuse, I dare to ask, why have enough squad and players? You cannot use them. Okay, and Alpha, the last one finally. How Man United deploys sheer strength, experience, guts to edge out AC Milan that are made up of aged players. Liverpool can oust any team in Champions League except Real Madrid because they play them with so much respect. Okay, that's how much we can take from the tweet. There's so many coming up. Okay, Tayo,
we can look at the papers. And before we go again, the breaking news, Denver Nuggets guard Monty Morris is committed to play for Nigeria. So
yes. We might just see him at the Olympics.
Yeah, why not?
The more the merrier.
Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a fantastic weekend. I am Tayo Salam.
I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Thanks for watching.